situation over the 12 years that I've been here entertaining you on television. Welcome to Hot Topics, Sharina Hudson. Getting out of my car with my money. Good morning, Journey. She'll be almost, I think she'll be 3 next month, don't you know? Good morning, Kelvin. It's my truth.
So, Sharina Hudson eventually found out that she barked up the wrong tree all along when she got with Kevin Hunter. It's not even a secret that Kevin and Sharina were ready to live together on Wendy's cash without even thinking twice about it.
Sharina Hudson. Getting out of my car with my money. Life is not what you think it is behind the scenes. Trust me. Homegirl is miserable. Like, that's what you get.
So I'm not gonna take a lot of time because, you know, I'm getting emotional. And I told myself I wasn't gonna do this.
However, since Wendy resigned the Wendy Williams show and was placed under that dreadful guardianship, Kevin's money bag is empty, kid. He has filed lawsuit after lawsuit, attempting every trick in the book to get Wendy to pay his lifestyle again. But after his last lawsuit effort was tossed out of court, they're suggesting that Kevin has up and left Sharina just like he did Wendy. And y'all, nobody actually knew where Sharina was. When Kevin was out there bringing those lawsuits, she disabled her Instagram and went entirely off the internet. And now we're finally going to learn where she's been hidden all these months.
That it was not till death do us part.
And it wasn't just an incident.
Life. This last one was the one that he had the longest term relationship with.
Don't recommend that you work with your husband because I made him my manager, and then when I decided to divorce him, he had to be fired. In other words, I made him divorced and unemployed all in one day. Having this side girl for almost 15 years of our marriage. I've known about her almost since the beginning. I've known that Kevin is a serial cheat. The first time I found out was while I was pregnant with our son on bed rest. During that time, I gave birth to him. He was in the delivery room. You'll see that play out in the movie. He's passing out cigars and you know, my wife and I, you know, little Kevin, who's not so little anymore, he's 20 years old. I plotted to divorce Kevin, and I sacrificed a lot of myself to come out successful on the other side.
As you are aware, Wendy has been going through a lot, and she's been trying to stop her guardianship, which she really didn't need or ask for in the first place. After a new assessment confirmed that Wendy was never sick and never had dementia, which was the basis for her strict guardianship for more than 3 years, it looks like everyone from the judge to her former manager, to her doctor, to Wells Fargo, even down to the guardian, Sabrina Morsey, were all lockstep when it came to making sure that Wendy didn't have access to her money. And you know what? Karma's got something for that backside. And with this fresh information out there, Wendy could finally be able to put a stop to this exploitative guardianship and putting this matter behind her and everyone. But that doesn't mean she's going to be back to her primetime role or working anytime soon. And Wendy no longer working impacted everyone. I mean, it affected everyone, even those who don't like her. And yes, it includes Kevin Hunter and his mistress, Sharina.
Kevin had gone to LA for business. And I hired a PI. Yes, I did. I hired a PI to follow my husband. And this guy is telling me that Kevin is in Miami with the girl. This is where you show the picture of them on the beach. You know the picture where she's going to the camera and he's laying there on the cell phone like they're chilling like a couple. You understand what I'm saying? The PI was taking pictures of them going to the gym, going to dinner, her with Gucci, Poochie, and Lucci.
When Wendy departed the Wendy Williams show, she lost a lot of revenue. And because of that, Calvin was unable to get any alimony, since there was a condition in their divorce settlement saying that if Wendy's contract was stopped or not renewed, she would not be on the responsibility to pay him alimony. Now, whomever wrote that phrase in the divorce settlement is a straight-up genius, since clearly Kevin wanted to live off Wendy forever.
She was not a mistake, baby.
Now, I am hearing that her ex-husband Kevin and Sharina are no longer together, and you know what that is.
Well, come on now.
The money gone.
What you thought was going to happen?
The money is gone.
Kevin reportedly got a lump amount from Wendy as part of their divorce settlement, coupled with an alimony check of roughly $250,000 each month. Yikes. But he never worried about her perhaps being ill or the gravy train ever coming to a sudden halt, because as soon as the alimony payments started rolling in, he was back in court seeking for any way to get Wendy to support him. In 2022, he launched a lawsuit hoping to reclaim payments again. Kevin explained that without the checks, he was all shades of poor since he had fallen behind on his expenses, was in debt, and resided in a neighborhood that required him to make contributions to the Homeowners Association. And because he couldn't do that, he was facing probable foreclosure. I mean, evidently, Kevin couldn't even afford his auto insurance for the luxurious touches he valued so much. He also stated he was overdue on his credit card payments without the checks coming through. By the time he filed the lawsuit, things must have been going really bad because he ended up taking loans out on 2 of his luxury vehicles with a company called Flex Wealth and had no choice but to put his and Sharina's lover's pad up for sale because he couldn't maintain it without Wendy's dime. So they were virtually homeless.
For some time now, and even today and beyond, I have been living in a sober house.
And the case surely didn't go in his favor and was thrown out by the court. But it didn't take long for him to discover another avenue to be compensated. In 2024, he claimed that Wendy had reportedly concealed approximately $48 million from him throughout their divorce processes and wanted their divorce set aside. But the court wasn't on Kevin's side at all. And it seemed insane to think that he was prepared to go through a whole horrible divorce procedure again, just so he could squeeze more money out of Wendy.
I think the amount of money that they questioned Kevin about for spending was like $100,000. To put it in perspective, Kevin's birthday party that year that his mom threw was $120,000. Kevin's rent was $80,000. Kevin's Uber Eats probably exceeded $100,000 that his mom approves.
Earlier this year, he filed yet another lawsuit, asking $250 million in damages against Wells Fargo, her guardian, and a whole bunch of other persons participating in her guardianship. He claimed he was doing this on Wendy's behalf, stating that her constitutional rights were infringed and that he had been deceived by the court-appointed guardians. So, he shifted from suing Wendy to suing others who had access to her bank. Now, putting any sentiments we have toward Kevin to the side, this case clearly revealed the breadth of the conspiracy and scheming Wells Fargo, the court, her guardian, and the individuals surrounding her put in place to grab what Wendy fought for. But even with Kevin's lawsuit revealing the truth about what was going on behind the scenes, folks are still looking at him strangely, since ain't no way he's doing all of this simply to have Wendy's back. He's not her spouse anymore, he doesn't have power of attorney, and he can't file on behalf of her kids since he's no longer a child.
My current lady now, because it takes a village. And I'ma say it, yeah, I said it.
I made him my manager, and then when I decided to divorce him, he had to be fired.
So I'm not gonna take a lot of time because, I'm getting emotional.
All of the drama, with my ex-wife feeling the way she felt and trying to,
So, this was nothing more than a money grab, and a lousy one at that. If anything, it indicates just how bad the situation is becoming if he's coming up with ingenious tactics like this to steal from Wendy at any costs. And insiders are suggesting it isn't simply Kevin's finances that are hurting since his lifestyle has had to shift. It's also his relationship with Sharina. As the money troubles crept in, Sharina and Kevin supposedly began having fights about what to do next, considering the major reason she was with Kevin in the first place was for the comfortable life. At this point, even Sharina Hudson had to get up and hustle. She was operating her vegan food company, which was not bringing in any money, and she even obtained her real estate license selling properties in Florida. Reports are also suggesting that Kevin hasn't paid any child support and doesn't intend to till he can get his finances back to what they were.
And kicking your feet and screaming and stuff, but you got 10 seconds to do that and then get up and go.
And as the matter began becoming even more heated, Sharina turned her IG private and supposedly moved back home with her mother to get her finances in order. And now she appears to be back and is actively pushing her company, begging people to employ her as a real estate agent, and selling her gut medication that she invented. She has entirely altered up her image, from providing soft life stuff to advertising her talents. She's attempting to keep herself and her kid afloat. And supposedly, Kevin and Sharina have gone their own ways. However, we can't formally confirm this.
Plotted to divorce Kevin. And I sacrificed a lot of myself to come out successful on the other side.
Explains it the best way I can, which will probably make him wish that he never met me in his life. And the girl, she is now on blast.
Y'all, karma is really spinning the block when it comes to Kevin Hunter, because it has grabbed him by the neck and it is not letting go anytime soon. If we thought his being cut off by the bank of Wendy Williams was terrible enough, he is now absolutely bankrupt and in deep debt. And if that's not enough, his boo thing, Sharina Hudson, recently dumped him and made it plain that they are never, ever getting back together. Child, this issue is a heated mess, so let's speak about it. Kevin has been lamenting on the internet for the last couple of months about how broke he is and the fact that he can't buy anything right now. He added, "I have fallen behind on most of my bills. My life has been drastically disrupted when Wendy ceased paying payments under our settlement agreement. The fact that I am unable to support my life and pay my payments in order is highly urgent to me. I cannot pay my payments and continue my day-to-day living." He also explained that the reason he was so destitute was because Wendy stopped paying his alimony. He claimed, "Wendy was in rehab, and these people just stopped depositing my money cold turkey. Today, I'm wanting to see all of the bank records from the time of the divorce until today, and that will demonstrate what truly is going on. These folks have attempted to starve me out. At the end of the day, I earned that money, and I'm not letting them take it." He has also been doing his hardest to acquire the money from Wendy by whatever way imaginable.
Wendy is done, and I don't like to say this, Lionsgate got her in a safe house, okay? She is not at her.
Because even when I was going through my darkest times, like, you never used that against me. You know what I mean? And that's how you know that the love is, like, genuine, and it's always going to be there. You know, and I'm always being for you, like,
He has attempted to pressure her, manipulate her, and even tried taking her to court. This was a waste of time since even if she did want to pay, her money was locked up at Wells Fargo, and she had no access to it. The bank has been seeking to put her under a conservatorship because they say she's not mentally sound enough to manage her own finances, and other individuals are manipulating her and her money. Wendy is currently in the midst of contesting this, and although she's definitely not poor, she doesn't have the money to pay alimony even if she was nice enough to. Plus, he signed a contract indicating that Wendy didn't have to pay him if she quit her employment on The Wendy Show. The contract said, if for any reason Wendy's contract with Talk WW is not renewed and or is otherwise suspended, ended, canceled, or terminated, and Wendy does not have any other television show being aired and paying her an equivalent salary, defendant, aka Kevin, understands and agrees that all severance payments shall be subject to either termination or modification. He signed the contract, but all of a sudden he's attempting to compel her to pay him. Boy, please. The court considered this ludicrous and his case was thrown out. It was after this that we finally found out the actual reason he was so anxious for money. It turns out that our buddy Kevin was in a lot of debt that he needed to pay back ASAP, or he would be in a whole lot of legal danger. One of his obligations was to UBS Bank, and boy did they come after him for his money. According to the reports, the bank handed him a credit card in 2014, and to be fair, he did make regular payments until he abruptly stopped paying. The bank gave him a warning in January and March of this year, but he failed to even acknowledge the warnings. The bank finally sued him in October, and according to court records, by way of letters dated January 23, 2023, and March 1, 2023, UBS Bank advised defendant, among other things, that he had defaulted under the terms of the agreement and that the outstanding balance due under the account was accelerated. Wherefore, UBS Bank seeks judgment against defendant for damages in an amount to be decided at trial, but not less than $2,176.183, cost of litigation including attorney costs, and such other additional relief as the court deems fair and equitable. While all this was going on, his baby mom, Sharina Hudson, broke up with him and took his kid along with her. According to a blind item, somewhere out there, a talk show presenter is having a wonderful laugh. Her serial cheating, serial stealing ex broke up with his lover because she was spending too much of his ill-gotten wealth. Sources also stated that Sharina had left Kevin and went back home with her parents. Not only was Kevin destitute and in debt, but he was also distraught. Child, that guy was going through it. He ultimately decided to put his Florida estate up for sale so that he could pay off some of his debt. He sold the home for $1 million, but it was not enough to balance his debt, and it was not enough for him to pay everything off, since he still owes a lot of money to a lot of people, including the bank. And no, the bank didn't drop the case. For whatever reason, he blew off his court case with the bank and failed to show up to court. This led in the court awarding the bank a motion of default judgment, and they ordered Hunter to pay over $2,176,183, and the sum would rise with interest until paid off. Considering that Kevin is broke right now, there's no way he's going to be able to raise $20,000 before it begins getting attention. Well, let's just say that this is about to be one heated mess, and multiple media sources are stating that he is going to be filing for bankruptcy shortly, since that is the only route he has out. But that's still not all, since sources reportedly revealed that he has been attempting to get Sharina back. He has been talking to her and imploring her to stand with him, and she's having none of that. In fact, she has him banned everywhere just so he gets the word that she is done with him and is moving on. To make matters worse, he is being clowned hard on social media, with others making comments like, "I mean, really, who's supposed to care if he's broke and homeless? That's what terrible cheats get. Your side piece doesn't want you now that you're broke. You played yourself. You should have invested wisely instead of trying to impress your side piece. All those years, all that work, all that building, yet he really thought he was going to live off Wendy's money with his side piece. The arrogance of it all, to the point that he didn't save any of the money he was stealing from Wendy. He deserves whatever happens to him at this point. He gambled and lost, traded being taken care of for having to take care of himself. Child, not Kevin being clowned on top of everything else he has going on. Talk about an embarrassment. But do you guys believe that he deserves this? Or do you think that karma is pushing things just a bit too far? Let me know what you think of this in the comments. Then check out this following video.